The following is a production of the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Hi folks, Brian Rushing here with www.abbeyathletics.com, your source for stats, standing stories, and more. Of course, it's a brand new year here on the campus. The weather's heating up. We're getting into the dog days of summer, and of course that leads into the fall season. And to start our series of videos for our season previews, I've got none other than head coach John Keating of the men's soccer program. Coach, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
Coach, the one thing that I wanted to ask is you're coming into a new season. The previous records are out the window. Hope springs eternal in the camp. Give me an idea of what your expectations are and some of the folks that are going to be driving those expectations for you this year.
Well, on the topic of records themselves, Brian, as you know, we've been kind of treading water now for several years from a results perspective. Even as we've made gains and gotten better as a team and as a program, and culture has taken root, it's not necessarily showing in the results. However, after the fall, we saw a surge of momentum and commitment from our juniors, seniors to be, and through the course of the spring, and with some fantastic results there, beating Division I programs, another very strong Division II programs, we're seeing now the fruits of our labor, all these years of work at culture and mission and training. Sure. And we're starting to see that pay dividends now. So probably that's the thing that's buzzing us the most at this point, is what we've seen since the season ended in the commitment to hard work and progress.
Well, now you talk about what happened after the fall had come to its completion. Kind of give me an idea of what this burgeoning momentum means for the program and how you're going to try to channel it in the direction it needs to go.
Well, when you implement culture, it doesn't just happen on its own.
Absolutely.
You need to bash it on the head by some multiple of 10 for it to take root. And I didn't feel like it had taken root solidly until now through those players. So players like Sean Trumpeter and Clay Demick and Nick Fuller and Liam Quinn, those players understand it, they get it, it's taken root. They recognize this is their last year, but I think that they'd gotten it beforehand as well. And they were part of the reason why we started to make good progress. But now, of course, it is their senior year, and so there are no leaving anything behind. And we've seen that from the moment the season ended, they were back in the weight room, testing each other, challenging each other. And that's taken root with some of the players that are younger as well. They've carried them with them. So we're getting fantastic leadership from those gents.
Now, having that sort of model with your upperclassmen sort of driving the train from a work and a training perspective, that probably gives you a lot of optimism for some of your team strengths. Can you kind of go into what your team strengths look like this year and how you expect them to translate into wins for the season?
Well, that's an easy one. I mean, in the sense that the four individuals, at least three of the four individuals I mentioned, all make up what will most likely be our starting back line in Liam and Clay and Sean, among others. And so there you've got three seniors there that are probably capable of playing together as a back line, so I think our defense will be very strong. We have some younger guys that can solidify our midfield, along with some returning sophomores like Jane Aduke and Nando. And we have a senior who was out last year with an ACL, Juan Villa, who we're expecting great things from as well. And we have a youngster called Mark Trumpeter who really lit things up in the spring as a freshman, right, leading with a lot of goals against big programs. And he's back and ready to go and as fit as ever.
Well, you mentioned guys like Mark Trumpeter, and certainly he's not the only one on staff, but there are a number of guys that are sort of bringing a different energy, a higher level of pace, if you will, to this program. I would imagine it's one of the things that's got you most excited about this year. Could you sort of give us some greater detail on some of the things you specifically are anticipating for the upcoming season?
Well, number one, going back to the record, since we've been treading water, to use that phrase, our number one objective is to finish with a winning record. Our second objective would be to finish in the top four in the conference. In our time here, none of these players have benefited from the bump that you get from a home team advantage, a home field advantage in conference playoff round one. So we're really, really insistent on finishing the top four and getting that game. And then enjoying the crowd and community support that comes from hosting the first round conference game. We've got a lot of speed through Mark and Nick, and so they'll give us plenty there. We've got a solid back line through our seniors and a very energetic midfield, albeit young. And so I think in combination all those things will be very good for us.
And sort of backtracking a little bit, I did want to touch on this before we close our time here. You talked about the burgeoning momentum that occurred last spring. And a lot of people say, well, you can't win a championship in soccer in September. However, it's pretty much axiomatic that if you don't have a solid September, it's probably not going to lead to a lot of fruit come November. How important do you feel it is for this club to get off to a quick start and sort of build some momentum once you get into the heart of the conference season?
Well, the way I'd answer that is to say the following: that as a coach, you're thinking with many, sides of the brain, and you understand that spring doesn't necessarily transfer into fall momentum, although fall momentum is critical to get early successes in September. But the players are just young and dumb enough that they've enjoyed a fantastic spring, and they still think that they're that good. And so I'm not going to take that away from them, and I'm just going to let them continue to believe that they've made progress, because they have in their heads, and I'm not going to wreck that combination and motivation in their heads. And I think that you're going to see them carry that forward almost with a strength, not arrogance, but certainly an inner confidence that they earned and gained this spring.
For the novice fan that comes out to watch men's college soccer at Alumni Field, can you give them sort of a brief overview of what they're going to see from a style of play perspective that they can sort of take in a bite-sized dose, if you will?
I think that whenever we play, we like to play in an exciting fashion. I think that we've had enough examples over the last year of teams that play in an exciting way, whether it be Atletico Madrid or Leicester, that really enjoy getting after teams and going at them and winning the ball back in their half. So I think you'll see some assertiveness there. Sometimes you have to play a little more low pressure depending on conditions and strength of opponent. FIFA, for example, number 1 in the nation. I'm not sure how long you go after them at full pace and so on and so on. But I think overall people enjoy the way we play because we've got some players that are speedy.
Sure.
We play aggressively, and I think that fans can expect that without tipping our opponents off too much about what to expect.
Well, Coach, I wanted to let you know I've been working on my fitness this summer. As far as vocally, I have every intention of being at every game, and hopefully, it's my goal that I am saying my sweet mother with continued zeal throughout the course of the season, hoping and praying that you guys have a very successful season.
Well, thank you, Brian. Our goal is to make you hoarse by the end of it through saying that simple phrase.
And that's a fantastic idea.
All right.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Folks, don't forget, for stats, standing stories, and more, there's only one place in cyberspace when it comes to your Crusaders. That place, www.abbeyathletics.com. For Coach John Keating, this is Brian Rush.